Hey guys, it's me Zain, and today we're gonna talk about orchid mounts. Okay, so actually one of my viewers asked a question regarding my orchid mount, and well, it gave me the idea, and I think I will actually make a whole topic about this, how I care for my mounts, how do they look like, what do they do, what do I do to them, and yeah, we're just gonna. Well, this is going to be sort of a mount care tutorial, but not too much of a tutorial, since I'm gonna tell you my ideas. So at first, let's take a look at my mounts. So I have actually two Phalaenopsis mounts. One is on a... Oh, my birds are doing something loud. So one of my Phalaenopsis mounts is on a bigger piece of wood, and it's a regular sized Phalaenopsis with these huge leaves. And well, yeah, I mounted it a few years ago, I think. Someone was really upset about this mount, that oh my god, this orchid is upside down. But actually no, it's not upside down, that's how they grow. My other Phalaenopsis mount is a mini Phalaenopsis. It's a white. Oh, and I forgot to tell you the color of the previous one. It's a regular, just a complex hybrid Phalaenopsis, and it has a pinkish reddish lip, and it has white, not white, it has yellow sepals and yellow petals. I think it's kind of beautiful, and sometimes according to the, well, it depends on the temperature, but sometimes the lower sepals actually have a few stripes of red, and I really like that, and I'm looking forward to see those stripes again, but it's hard to get because I don't know the temperatures which actually affect the flower to make those stripes there. My next mount is my mini Phalaenopsis. It's a, again, complex hybrid Phalaenopsis. It's a mini phal with miniature blooms and well, pretty miniature size in general. I don't know when I made this mount, but I think it was at least 2 years ago. Well, first the leaves started to grow smaller and smaller in size, but after a time it got used to it, and now it's growing bigger leaves. But sadly something, a snail or I don't know what, munched out a pretty big portion of my beautiful new leaves. So yeah, it's looking like this right now, but what can I do? Okay, my next orchid which is mounted, well, is the Brassavola stars, and it's doing really bad. I think it has a fungal infection thingy. Right now the infection is not spreading, so I'm crossing fingers that it won't spread again. But I bought this mount like this, so it was a mount when I bought it, and I need to actually sit like this. Oh my god, my back hurts so much right now. Okay, my next mount is a bulbophyllum, which I just got with that rage hole, and if you want to check out that video, click on the info card in the corner. Is that corner or that one? Pretty much a small division, so it won't bloom anywhere near in the future. I have these mounts, but I have some other plants which are not like mounted, but they are mounted. So for example, there is my Phalaenopsis potted / mounted. I'm hoping that in some years actually some roots will cover the sides of the pot and it will look like a mound, but it's not a mound because it's potted. So yeah, that's what my intentions are with that, and I like it, it's doing great. Also, I have my bulbophyllum bird feeder mount, which is basically a cylindrical bird feeder filled with inorganic medium which holds moisture for a longer time, and I just mounted my bulbophyllum on that, so I don't have to water like every day, but it's a mount. And also I have my kokedamas, my like real kokedamas with moss on them, and the orchid is growing on the moss, and the fake and plastic kokedamas, which are basically plastic sphere filled with medium, and in that sphere there is the orchid potted into and it's hanging down. So it's kind of a mound, but it's not a mound, so I just had to mention these right now, I think. So yeah, let's start the real deal. I'm gonna talk about the mounds. Finally. Okay, so I've chosen to have plants on the mounds which are drought tolerant because, well, yeah, I had more more mounted plants in the past, but I put them up and I only have a few right now, like I just mentioned them. I don't have the time to actually maintain them. I just left a few which are low maintenance plants and they can tolerate drought periods pretty well, so I've chosen these kind of orchids. For example, the two Phalaenopsis orchids are these complex hybrid flowers. Well, they can pretty much survive everything, so they are a good choice for a mount. I think it's better to talk about those ones which I mounted on pieces of wood. So this is one of my Phalaenopsis, this is my other Phalaenopsis right here, and it's pretty sad looking. I'm gonna talk about it why. But the main idea behind all this mounting and stuff and keeping the mounts was that choosing those plants which can do good even if I forgot to water them, I forgot to check them out, what's going on with them and stuff like that, you know. I really like mounts, but I cannot keep up with watering. I don't like mounts in the regards of watering, but other than that, I'm all over mounts because I like how they just hang down from a piece of wood. So I just kept these which can pretty much survive anything, and they are floriferous and vigorous, so they can even bloom for me on mounts. And well, they do bloom for me on mounts, so that's great. I think there are three roots which were grown really just attached to this piece of wood. For example, this one is a grapevine wood thingy. So in the garden we have vines and we had to remove a few, so I just cut a portion of that and I mounted my Phalaenopsis on it without baking it or without doing anything with it. It doesn't have any infections, so that's great. Well, this Phalaenopsis mount is a piece of wood which I don't know in English, so I should check it out in the translator. It must be the linden. Yeah, linden tree. Okay, so after a little translator break, finally I know this is a linden wood, and well, that's because we had a pretty huge linden tree in the garden, but we had to cut it out. But finally we didn't cut it out, but cut a big portion of it because it was just it was really bad. And well, I saved this piece and I mounted my Phalaenopsis, my big non-regular Phalaenopsis hybrid on it. Doing great, it's growing new roots, so there is no problem with that. Now there is the, well, I'm not calling it a wood, but it's a wood, the cork block thingies, which is, for some reason in Hungary, it's just super popular. If somebody is mounting something, an orchid, all the Hungarians are mounting it on these cork bark wood block thingies, which I'm not even sure what are they, because sometimes they contain even charcoal, and I dislike that so much. I don't know why, but I totally dislike it. Now, if they have an illness, well, I care for them as I care for the potted plants. For example, if they would have spider mites, I would treat them with this oily solution treatment thingy. If I have any like leaf tip burns or fungal spots or something, I just cut them off like I would cut them off from a regular potted orchid. So it's basically the same, everything is the same as with the potted plants, so I'm not doing anything totally different. Let's talk about the success rate, because that's the interesting stuff, right? Well, I had this for years, and this orchid is like, it just blooms whenever it feels to bloom. This orchid always creates a few blooms per blooming time. It doesn't care about the real like Phalaenopsis bloom season, like it's in the winter or in spring. No, it blooms whenever it just wants to bloom. This one keeps the spikes for a long time. For example, the previous spike rebloomed like 3 or 4 times. This spike is now reblooming the 3rd time because right now it's producing a branch, and also it's continuing to grow on the tip of the actual spike. So it just doesn't care about the blooming season and those kind of things. Well, if you look at the leaves, you'll see pretty much of a bad situation going on here, because this is an original leaf and right now it has these leaves. Well, this is mainly because, well, the first leaf it created under my care, and at the time that it was mounted, it was a pretty small leaf. The next leaves are bigger and bigger in size, so I'm trying to keep up with the watering for it, and well, yeah, it blooms regularly, no matter how tiny the leaves are, and it always reblooms with only a few flowers, like 3 or 4. After the flowers fade, it creates new flowers and reblooms a lot of times. It's rather in bloom all year long than it's in not bloom. Right now it's the record, the highest, the longest time period when it wasn't in bloom. It was like in the beginning of summer it lost its bloom, and right now it's creating new ones. And well, yeah, I like it because it is blooming like every time, and I pretty much like the fact that it just doesn't care about any season. It grows whenever it wants to grow. Right now I'm really hoping that I can get more beautiful leaves which are longer and wider. Then here is this one. The success rate is this one is great. Bigger and bigger leaves are created. Okay, there is a leaf which just was munched off. It looks ridiculous. It always reblooms for me, and it blooms in the winter time. I can count there like 5 spent spikes, and the next spike is just starting to grow. And I think you can see that there is that little thingy which is just starting to grow. So this plant doesn't really care about if I forget about it or something. It just continues and then blooms and stuff like that. So I like this plant. Well, in the future, right now, I don't think I will like do more mounds, because I'm not a fan of mounds because I have to water them so much. So I don't think I will mount more plants in a classical way, but I'm always coming up with new ideas for mounds which look like mounds, but I don't have to water them like every day. Like, for example, once a week watering is fine. I will come up with new ideas, I'm sure, because I know myself. So yeah, this is my video for today, and it was not a real care tutorial. It was just my ideas about mounts. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click on the bell button so you will get notifications if I upload a video. Leave a comment, subscribe to my other channel. You can follow me on Instagram, and you will find all the links down in the info box. See you next time. Bye guys.